Please bear with me. The show will be starting in a minute. Uh, I do sincerely apologize for that brief delay, because sometimes it goes live faster than I do anticipate. So try to close my door so that I give myself the undivided attention, that I like to do. Um, okay, thoughts on gains, fitness gains and losses. I was a little indisposed, I guess, for the past week. I don't know. I was dealing with some type of oral issues. I was having like some irritation, in my mouth, my gums, tongue, and I really try to analyze things. I go, well, did I eat something? I don't put my hand in my mouth or anything. It's a common. I have a friend, God bless him. He's a great person, but he does some things that are not the wisest things. Like he's counting money and he puts money in his mouth as he the whole, and it's like maybe he's built up immunity, for the dirty money in his mouth, so he doesn't get sick. But I don't, no, I don't, I pick up or touch something. I never put my hand in my mouth, I wash my hands and I just don't. It's just the way, I'm very, cautious about things. Not perfect, but, try to use common sense that, to avoid unnecessaries. I get sick like everybody else. Um, I only had the flu once in my life, and the reason how I caught the flu, and I know how I did. I was with this chick, and let's just say she was all over me that evening. The next day, I was paranoid. I thought, oh shit, do I have like a serious disease? No, the doctor. I went to the hospital because I never had the flu before, and I said, just tell me straight up if I got, thought I had an incurable disease. I didn't have sex, nothing. He says, no, you got the flu. He told me. I was like 24. I didn't know. I thought I had, that was finished. But, and I talked to my friend about this. We watch these shows, I know the house and stuff like that, but it's so easy for things to scare the shit out of you. You go to the hospital and you think like in the movies, like the doctor comes to you and goes, you got the bits over. Like you think I go every time I go to the hospital, I think that's going to happen to me. I think the doctor is going to say, all right, you got to sit down and hear, like it's all, I mean, I remember I had like a toe, I had got a staph infection one time. I think I got it from the gym. I'm almost positive. And it's funny, I wear sweats, when I go to the gym. But I know what I did years ago. I didn't know this a couple of years. Like I take a towel and I have it on one of the benches, and then I like wipe my forehead down, sweating. So whatever was on the bench of sweat from the other person or whatever, I guess I break out a lot, so maybe went through a cut or something, and that's how I got the staph infection. But it's weird. I got it on my legs, and it was weird. I didn't know. I thought it was like acne or something, but it wasn't. It was like these pustules. I went to the doctor. He said, "Well, it's like pustular psoriasis," and they gave me, like I went to like they transferred me to like a dermatologist, and they gave me some ointment, and I was fine. But my friend, this other guy that like he's trying to scare the shit out of me. I mean, he wasn't trying to, but he's like, oh, we knew like a family, those woman, she got a staph infection, she died. So the paranoia of telling you that, oh, you're gonna get this, and you're gonna die from it. Like no, more than likely, no. This story about this dog that licked this person and then they died. Well, they don't tell you it was a wild dog in the Caribbean or something. Like listen, it's not. I'm not saying throw caution to the wind, but a lot of it is fear, is false evidence appearing real. Like, and believe me, I am not perfect either. Like I'm a lot of there's some things that really scare me that I have to address. Like, and you have to step up in life. You have to step up if it's for your health, for your own health. Listen, my dad, he died at 38 at Cedar Sinai. And I remember hugging him before the surgery. He went in there, and they just didn't have the technology in the 80s to do open heart surgery like they have today. Probably would still be alive. But, I fear that when I go to that hospital, I tell doctors, I said, my dad died here. That's the truth. So, of course, you're going to be a little apprehensive. I remember one time, I had to give a blood test or something, and I was young, I was really small, and they took out substantial amount for somebody that's like 100 pounds. And I remember that, like, doctor goes, "You want some orange juice or nothing?" And I said, "I'm fine, I'm fine." And I walked out of the hospital with my grandmother, and I passed out, literally. I passed out right there, because I wasn't prepared. I didn't know. So, I got scared of that shit. Things happen to you in your life. Of course, you're going to remember, and you're going to have be apprehensive about things that you know traumatized you or fucked you up, when you were young. But again, just realizing that, you got to do what it takes, to take care of your health, and realize that not everything is always the same. There's better technology now in anything, like my friend, told me about this. So, but let's talk about thoughts on gains and losses in fitness. I want to cover this. It's not like the stock market. It's not like, you know, I have a friend. He works out religiously as well as like I do, and he's a good guy. He's not as well read as I am. I mean, he's not bad. He just doesn't. He kind of lives like kind of a shoebox lifestyle when it comes. Goes to the gym all the time. 5 in the morning, and that's it. And he. I think he's kind of leveled off with his progress, but you know, it's not bad. Again, you gotta understand that, the problem, most average people will give you these compliments to overinflate your ego. Whoa, look at it. I mean, I was walking, there's this guy, I'm walking home from my gym, and he goes, look at the size of the arms. He's telling me, and I'm like, I mean, it's nothing. I mean, I'm like, I was up to like 185, and I'm pretty solid. So, um, but then what happened? Like I said, about a week and a half ago, maybe close to 2 weeks, had some issues where it's very difficult to eat. I didn't feel really well too. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I thought I had COVID or something. My tongue started bothering me, so I thought it was that, but it wasn't. It was some type of gum infection or something. The doctor prescribed me. It's funny, in the hospital, doctor usually asks you, do you drink or do you smoke? This doctor asked me, do you take steroids? He goes, I swear, he goes, it's really funny. And I told him, I said, no, but there's anabolic properties in many over the counter, um, not drugs, over the counter supplements. I told him that. But it doesn't matter. Like, the stuff I've seen stuff they sell, and it's like, oh, it's one molecule away from Dianabol. It's still one molecule. That one molecule is everything. Now there's precursors, pre-hormones, SARMs, whatever. You're gonna get a little something, like off of, but you're not gonna get. It's not like what Rick Drazen said. He said, what Arnold was taking was 4 Dianabol a day, and then the doctors prescribed a shot of Primobolan. Rick Drazen said, he was taking, doing like 3 Dianabol a day, and he blew up huge fast. He couldn't barely fit in his Volkswagen. There's a If you blow up that fast, that's some really serious shit. I've been working out for like 30 years. I never took anything where I blew up. I'm not that never, never. So I'm not. I could tell them that the stuff I'm taking is really nothing. I work out very hard, very consistent. Well, it's sometimes, I do what I'll say is I take my foot off the gas for a little while. Again, my friend that works out religiously, he really doesn't know how to do that. He's going to grind himself in the ground, probably working out, and then, I don't know. He's got some mental issues. He's a good guy, but Lee Haney said stimulate, don't annihilate. But the Dave Draper, the blonde bomber, he talked about, there's times you take your foot off the gas a little bit, and then there's time to drop the bomb. When he's saying, when you really, got the power and the energy to do it, do it. But I will tell you, like my workouts, especially over the past 2 weeks, have been watered down a little bit. But but I still been holding it. You know, I did legs yesterday, not feeling back to 100%, but I still went in there and did it because I said, you know, it might as well give it a little, give it a little bit. You know, give something. I just don't like that neglect. You know, like heard of Trump was at a party years ago, and there was this one guy that was really making a lot of money, but then you know he basically lost it all and never made it back. And at this big party, all these people they knew who that guy was. He was sitting in a corner, kind of by himself, and Trump went up to him and he goes, "You know, I know who you are. Like I know." And he goes, "If you could just tell me, like, what happened? You were on such a roll, man. What happened?" He goes, "I lost my momentum." That's what he said, and that's really important because losing your momentum, you know. Now I was waiting outside Cedars for my name to be called so I can go and check in, and they had like these concrete barricades outside, and these people there's like some people sitting out there waiting for their names and stuff, and I was doing push-ups on the concrete barricades at angles, and then doing tricep dips with that too. I know security guy was looking at me like I was nuts. I don't care, because thing is, I'm not just gonna sit there if I could be doing something. I felt like and there was a day that I went there at night. I usually go to the gym. I go to the gym all the time, days, nights, whenever. But I didn't go that day, and my training logs for this year were in mid-March. I've missed like 3 days. 3 days. I've been to the gym every day except for 3 days. One of those days, I went to a dance thing, in Irvine. The second time was like the hospital thing, so the third. So I'm used to, like it was very hard, for me to go to the hospital instead of going to the gym. But I had to know what was going on. I'm glad I did. So I was, I heard of Ronnie Coleman, same thing, sitting in the hospital, with rubber bands, like working out. It's good for his mental health, like it's all the guy. You're just gonna sit there, like, and that's so. This is what leads my thoughts on gains and losses, like what you go through and stuff, like your fitness. Now, I don't recommend weighing yourself every day. I don't, because it's too psychological. The weight fluctuates up, down, based on stuff. So and it's not an absolute. It's a measure of just of mass, but it's more important. Really, the mirror is the judge. Now, I know when I'm not eating right, when I'm not feeling well, you're not there's you have no strength. You're sick. You're gonna lose weight. Like it's just part of the deal. Um, you're not yourself, so you don't get paranoid thinking, oh, it's over. Like I'm sick. It's give up. Don't even do nothing. I it's time to remember. Like usually, this kind of stuff goes kind of quick, and you recover fast. And when you recover fast, it comes back. It comes fucking back. Like in I know it can be a little depressing. It's like you feel like, wow, I worked so hard to get to a certain point, and now it's being all taken away from me. It's not all being taken away. It feels like but it's very very temporary. So it's important to remember that. I remember I had kidney stone surgery or whatever that was out of, and I was like 190. I showed you a picture with me and Chris Jericho. I was way bigger than I looked like a fucking pro wrestler. Could have been looked like a pro bodybuilder in my pictures. I'm not exaggerating. I showed the pictures before, of what I look like. Here, I'll show it again just to show you, I like to reinforce. Oops, sorry. Hang in there. I like to reinforce what I'm talking about, Here's some more. Bear with a man that knows. think. I think I know, But I mean, dude, look at this, okay? Look very carefully. All right. You see how big I am in that fucking picture next to Jericho? My shoulders and everything like that? That's an '06. Right? And I looked up my weight at that day because I have my logs, things. I was like 178 in that picture, but I was solid as fuck. Okay. My legs are way better than they were back then. But my upper body, I mean, I was fucking thick, my back and everything. I did a shitload, I was able to, I was drinking milk and protein shakes and like it was going out of style. I mean, back then. And I paid the price for it. I wound up having kidney stone surgery. I remember when I got out of the hospital and I started able to go back to the gym, I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like in shock. I go, what? But I was able to, to get back in because the knowledge is there of how to work out. Now I had to refine things, to where I wasn't, drinking milk or those shakes and all that shit. So please bear with me. I don't know what happened here. Ah, there we go. Okay, so I was wondering why the light wasn't on. So that was a problem. We didn't have the thing plugged in properly. So hopefully get just a little better. So it's learning. Like it's. I've had two major pit stops in my working out routine. Number one was the kidney stone surgery, like where I was indisposed for a while. It was excruciating. Now the surgery, I'm happy. Once it's over, I was okay. It was the most painful piss I ever took in my life. Was in the hospital at Good Samaritan. I'll never forget it. Tried peeing out bloody sand. I did. So there was that. And then the second time I was indisposed is when I basically worn out my meniscus, my knees, from doing tons and tons of lunges. And to this day, I don't advocate the exercise. I think it's totally overrated and nothing but damaging. I mean, let's think about this. Like you got the weight on your back or whatever, right? And you're bending forward with your knees. Where's all the pressure going? You would think, oh no, well it's working my legs. That's that step forward? I'm telling you, it's like I would say 70% pressure on your knees, 30% on your side of your legs, whatever, your glutes, sides, whatever. It looks like, oh, it's really working. It's a I've seen women do it, like I watch online and I just sit there, I cringe. I go, God, may God help them if they had that mentality like I did of work doing exercises till you couldn't do them anymore. You're asking for some serious issues down the road. I don't see how there can't be, because the compression of lunging forward, it's just putting so much pressure on the knees, and that's what if you do as much as I did, not the amount of weight, it's just the amount of reps. It's common sense. Now what happened was I thought it kind of got to a point where I almost couldn't walk anymore. I mean, I was like, it was like ridiculous. So I didn't know it. I just gave up bodybuilding. I said, dude, if I don't want to be, I was paranoid that I'd have to have knee replacement surgery and everything. So I gave up working out completely because I was just happy to be able to walk. I was paranoid about, seeing Ronnie Coleman size. I don't want that happening to me, walking around with crutches and shit, a wheelchair bound or whatever. So, guy's got to know his limitations. But then I started to figure this out. I said, wait a second. All right, let's eliminate that exercise. Now, I'm doing like the seated extensions. Okay, that's like just getting front quad. Like it's not building any mass in the legs. I said, well, is there any way to get in there? What I mean by in there is work around, like the areas. Now I said, well, but there's no way, because like to be able to squat, you have to be able to, your knee has to compress, has to bend. So I sat there like, and I tried to figure this thing out now. Now there's machines I've seen like that you sit on and push down, works your hamstrings. It's like a barely effective exercise. I've tried them all. I've tried them all. Then we got one of those death machines that like Dexter Jackson calls it, where you hold the handles in the back and you squat. I said, but you know there's a curvature in like where you can place your feet. And I sit there and go, this is okay, but I don't like the idea because you're standing up and then you're down and it's like pressure on the knees. I don't like it. I it's a very didn't really feel any knee pain with it, but I'm after the most effective exercise to get the best results um, possible for me. And it's not, there's everybody tells you, oh no, this is good, this is good. I think you have to work and figure out your own individual thing. I mean, I'm watching guys that have personal trainers. These guys never been don't even know how to work out, and these trainers are putting them on the hack squat machine. It says on the machine this is an advanced exercise. You have no business on there doing these advanced exercises if they're real raw beginners. I didn't start doing hack squats till about a year and a half ago, well advanced, after doing multitudes of various leg exercises and learning exactly how to place my feet, which is crucial for doing hack squats or reverse hack squats, which I'll talk about in a second. These people, these young people, they think they know it all. They don't. They got the monkey see, monkey do mentality. They watch and they see somebody, oh, that's okay, I'm going to try. That's the way it works. It doesn't. I mean, there's people that are stronger in certain areas, and there's people that need to work around things. I am not built for powerful. I'm not built for power. I said this a million times. So, doing these heavy squats and stuff like that, I can't crank out enough of it to get really good leg results. But I did find ways around it, how to build my legs better than most other people in my gym. I mean, not bragging, but it's just a fact because I look at these people and there's really nothing to look at because they don't know what they're doing. They don't know because they didn't study like I do. They don't research. They don't trial and error. They haven't been through the fire like I've been. I talk about 30 years, but that doesn't mean you know more. But if it's based upon knowledge, it means something. So anyway, I mix it up. There was a guy called Charles Poliquin. He passed away a couple years back, but he had a great a manual like for training, and he talked about the German volume training, 10 sets of 10. I is great, but I modify shit. Like I just won't do one thing and that's it. I said, okay, well, what I'll do is I'll try to do 10 sets, um, with regular squats and front squats. So like, I modify shit and I'll just start off with the bar. First sets with the bar, I'll do 10 reps regular squat, then I'll do the front squat. Um, Second set, I'll put on like, I don't know, not that much. It's like 15 pounds each side. So 30 in the bar. So 75 pounds front regular squat. Then I'll take off 2 5s and it'll be like 55 front, then the front squat. And but be honest with you, for me, the front squat, with your hands positioned with the bar resting on your shoulder, neck here, on way more effective for me than the back squat. Way more effective. I don't know why. Um, and it's like, well, it's hitting your quads more. I said, you know what though? If you're getting down, I'm telling you, your ass, whatever, like it's working all of your legs. It's so easy when you're doing regular squats to lean forward because you've got too much weight on there. And I just don't like, it's a bad habit, something that's very hard to stay straight, and I just don't like the movement. So I found a way around it. Now I do regular squats, but I felt like the bottom line is results, results. How can I get in there? That's the key. It's like when you're doing for me, like doing, there's 3 leg extension machines in my gym, 3. One of them, I just don't like because it's a real kind of easy, I don't really feel, the real inside of the quads, real that good burn. The second machine, There's something about the distance, like it's a different that I don't like. It's too far. Like you the way to kick out where you gotta. It's just a very odd. The third machine I really like. I set it a certain way, and it's like it's so controlled, so I could real feel like I could feel the fibers, the muscles in the quad. Really, I mean, it's like very effective. And then when I look, when I look at my quads after, I don't wear shorts in the gym, so I look at at home or whatever, and I could see wow, you could see like the upper part, toward the upper thigh. It's like really I could see like the muscle like just coming out of it. It's really effective. You find what works for you. I mean, there's so many other. I'll tell you, there's other exercises. I could spend a long time talking about it. I'll just tell you what I felt works for me. Then I would see these guys in the hack squat machine. Um, it's at an angle, the one that we have. It's at an angle, like regular hacks, but these guys not invert, they reverse it. And I was like, wow, I was like, what's it really doing? And I started doing. I go, holy shit, this is the gold mine. I was looking for the gold mine to get around. From what I said in the beginning here, how to get around getting that compression thing. I found it. It's the reverse hack squat. That's how to fucking get in there. That's how to fucking really you can push a amount of weight on you and not worry about this and that. I've gotten more results off of doing those reverse hack squats than fucking anything. The lunges, the front squats is a close second. It's a close second. Oh, it takes more out of you. But that fucking reverse hack squat thing. Now it's like, well, it works your ass, because you're going down. It's like, you stick your ass out. So but your ass is connected to your fucking legs, you idiot. That's what it is. Big ass, big legs. That's what it is. Yeah. These fucking morons, they don't understand that. I don't want my ass to get big. Then you don't want big legs then. Okay. It looks kind of silly. So I know the exercise, and I know guys look. There's a lot of gays in my gym. They look at my because when you go down, it sticks your ass all the way out and stuff. But it fucking works. Now, the regular hack squat, you position your feet. Tom Platz talked about this in sticking at a whatever angle, 45 degrees, or just point it out. Takes all the pressure off the knees. I don't do a ton of weight on there. I want reps. I want to be like um, going on that machine, like where it's easy, where the muscles getting worked. I don't care about tons and tons of weight. Sometimes I'll load it up with the reverse one, especially. I did sometimes, but it goes back to what I said about taking your foot off the gas sometimes. You gotta be in this for the long haul. You try to do every time you go in there, trying to hit PRs every time. You're gonna burn yourself out. You're gonna fuck yourself up. Like my friend said, he's comparing himself to Obi-Wan Kenobi now, like he's old. Because he goes to the gym and he grinds himself in the ground every time he goes there. He's not a real student of this. Like he just thinks he's monkey. He's got the monkey see, monkey do mentality. Now he's not bad. He's like 175, a little shorter than me, but he's very bar big. Like because he doesn't know what I know about doing leg training, and that's why look, the proof is in the pudding. As a doctor said to me yesterday, the day before. It really is. I mean, guys take anabolics and stuff like that. It still doesn't mean they really know what they're doing. Yeah, they look like, but again, looks can be deceiving. The knowledge is the knowledge, and I pride myself on learning, all the time. And it took me. I'm still, learning. Look, I never really did bicep curls standard. I just didn't like it. I was like, well, what are you getting off this? Lightweight. You're going like this. And I said, you know what? Let me just modify all this shit. And what I would do is, because my left arm is a little weaker than my right, I would do, two reps with my left and then one with my right, and I really focus I'm trying to go slow. I'm not there. This how much weight can I lift kind of thing. I said, I know biceps is a small muscle. I said that shit's got to be controlled, slow, and everything. And I noticed just by doing that, like results. Uh, Couple sets, and then like at the very end, trying to do both at the same time. Like that's enough. Like it's it's not more is not necessarily better. You understand the gains come from time. The gains come from quality nutrition. The gains come from good supplements. The gains come from rest and recovery. All those things, everything has to be fucking going in the right direction. And most of these clowns, I'm sorry, my gym, they're not going. They're there to waste time. They're there. They don't know what they're doing. And I've seen the same people in my gym that really, they're all. There's nothing. Every gym I've gone to, I've never seen. I remember I did see Michael O'Hearn. I went to that Gold Venice. That guy was like 300 pounds, like 280 or, but it's a rare. There's some IFBB pros too, but that's it. Like all the other gyms I go to, there's nobody really spectacular. There's nobody because most people don't know what they're doing, and they're not the epitome of what they could be naturally. I've been there a couple times. I've been as far as you can go naturally, as far as you can go with something, and I will remain that way. Um, I know about how far I can go naturally. It's your whole life. It's really an incredible amount of work for something that you're not going to be able to make a living at. So it's all a question of now how much time are you devoting to something that's you walk around just so people can kind of look at you. Like it doesn't matter. Like it's. I'm kind of babbling on about that, but excuse me. It's it's good if it's a good part of your life, but it's not your whole life. It's really important to understand that, that again, I talked about the three pillars, and just it's such a rare thing, that it's and that guy that I know, he doesn't, he doesn't have this. It's a very, I mean, you're talking about a perfect balance, of everything, of being the best you can be physically, financially, and education and knowledge wise. And I don't think I've ever met anybody. I really, you know what? Let me retract that. I have met a couple people, a couple, like a handful, my entire life of people that would have like epitomized the three pillars. That it's so rare. Most people that lift weights, they're broke. They're. I mean, or they're not successful at. You're talking something that's, you know, so in education and knowledge. It's so fucking rare. It's like Stallone, John Cena, Rich Gaspari, Lou Ferrigno, Arnold, Jay Cutler. You're talking about a handful of fucking people that met in my life. I never met Arnold, by the way. I never met Stallone. I met John Cena. Seen Lou Ferrigno real close. I at a hotel lobby. Rich Gaspari, I met. But, it's like, you're talking like a rare, rare, rare thing. Now, you don't have to be professional or former professional bodybuilder to have the three pillars. I'm just saying that, the people that I met happen to be. The Rockster, just like people that embody the three. Like it's just now there's people that I never met or I've seen. Like Michael Hearn embodies the three. He's not as famous. He embodies the three. He's got the knowledge, the fitness knowledge, physique, and money, like whatever. Like I think he makes $4 million a year, based on the published thing. Like it's a big movie or something, but He ain't no like rock or anything like that, but he's got the three pillars down, in my opinion. You know, it's like a successful man, that knows about fitness and knowledge and got the look to prove it. Frank Zane, definitely all three. Or you had, like, but don't matter, like you know, iconic. Your pictures up in Gold's Gym and a three-time Mr. Olympia. You don't have to keep it up. It's you're immortalized. It's like when I met Franco Columbu, all three. You know, I mean, it's just. I know I'm talking about Mr. Olympias and stuff like that, but it's just Ed Milet, all three. Grant Cardone, pretty all three. You don't got to be huge. You don't got to be a bodybuilder. He's in good shape. Got fucking money. He's smart. That's all three. Joe Rogan, all three. He's all like deca millionaires more. It really, yeah, the money thing is it's it holds as much what you could be again. You could be in great shape, and I've seen these the people that don't look like nothing, and they got money, and then people that got money don't look like nothing, and the people that maybe look like something, but I don't know what they have. I don't know how much knowledge they have. I don't know. But the ones that got that status do have. Excuse me. Anyway, don't be paranoid about the gains and the losses. It's a time thing. And if you're doing things the right way, gains do come. I mean, it comes in spurts sometimes. I've had a month where I went from like 178 to 183 in a month, 5 pounds. You know, it doesn't sound like it. It's a lot. If you're pretty well built at 178, what are you going to look like at 183? Even better, even thicker, whatever. So 1 month. So don't, worry about, that. It's just the consistency, staying with it, just staying with it. And those down times too, I dragged myself in there, and I used to eating 5, 6 times a day. That's all I had yesterday was like, nothing compared to what I usually have, and I slogged through a leg workout. I said, I got to do this. I got to fucking do this. You know, this one clown, I'm sorry, this guy, one of the guys took my blood pressure, skinny black guy, and he asked me all these questions about, what gym I go to. And he goes, oh, and he's telling me, I didn't ask him what gym he goes to, but he goes, I go to 24-hour fitness, and he asked me about how many times I work out every day. I said, I work out every day if I can, every day. He goes, it's not healthy. He goes to me, and it like lit a fire under my ass. Who are you to fucking tell me not healthy? The only time it's bad for your knees, bad for my knees. The only time I told you I worn out my meniscus from doing thousands upon thousands of lunges. Only fucking time. Going to the gym every day is bad for you. What the fuck are you unhealthy? What the fuck? You're an idiot. I made sure I didn't call him an idiot, but I told him I got a Master of Science degree in physical education, MS fucking degree. I'm almost a doctor, by the way, in education, but still, you probably have a BSN, not even that, maybe not even a BSN, and you're telling me to fucking lecture me on the going to the gym is unhealthy every day. Told him nicely, a watered down version. I don't hold back, even though like when somebody's taking my blood pressure, I'm in a hospital. I have a tendency to behave. I just don't like trying to be one upped by people that don't know what they're doing. I mean, I'm sorry, like the guy looked like an Ethiopian compared to me, skinny like nothing. I'm sorry. That would be like me going up to like a millionaire, just a millionaire, and telling them you're doing this all wrong. This is not how you make money. You're not. He's like, who the fuck are you? You're broke. You're. What's your net? What they ask? What's your net worth? And I don't have one. And you're telling me I'm a fucking millionaire. Like, and you're telling me what I'm doing is wrong. Now, do you see how stupid that makes you sound? It makes you sound like, what people do, successful people, if you're lucky enough to talk to one of them and you say something like that, your value of the hierarchy, wherever you were, wherever they put you, they size you up based on status, based on, they could look at you, they could see, first, how does somebody size you up? I know there's rarities and disheveled people that like are wealthy and stuff like that, but most people that are successful are well kept. If they have a beard, it's groomed. The hair is like cut. If it's long, it's like like Richard Branson. Like things. They're neat. Okay. They dress successfully. I mean, it just there's a myriad of things that go along. But again, and of course, those people have status. Everybody knows who they are. They're in Forbes. So, if you're not amongst them, if you're not in that, then, you will be sized up. And they'll size up very quickly. Like, who are you? What do you do? Like, you better be somebody big behind the scenes that I don't know about. And all of a sudden, and then they said, well, I was on television doing this and that. Okay, so you were a dancer, like you're semi-finalist. Okay, so you really know how to do that. But you are in no position, none. Like you're trying to one up somebody that's financially way above. That's what that guy in the hospital was. He's trying to one up me in fitness, and you have no chance. I'm that millionaire of that knowledge of that, and he's down here somewhere, and he made a fool out of himself trying to tell me that because anybody that would say that is a fool. Working out every day is unhealthy. You're a fucking idiot. Working out every day is unhealthy. Is breathing every day unhealthy too? Is eating every day is unhealthy. Eating every day is sleeping every day at night, is that unhealthy too? The body is meant to be used consistently. It's meant to be used hard, okay? Most people, they do too little instead of too much. They do way, 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 way too little. Or if they go to the gym and they overdo it one time and they fuck themselves up and oh, yeah, I really fucked myself up. Yeah, how many times? When? How? What'd you do? It'll all be explained. I told you, I've been going to the gym on for 30 fucking years. I don't think I've ever had a bodybuilding injury. Because I know what the fuck I'm doing. I built a foundation upon now the things that I did that worn out my meniscus. Okay, that was, doing thousands of lunges. I didn't know, but I learned. But I didn't let that stop me. It wasn't like, it wasn't catastrophic. It could have been. But I figured out, okay, well, that compression on that is just way too much with that. I stopped doing that. It doesn't mean I stopped doing leg work. Legs are better now than they've ever been. I got jeans I can't even fucking wear. I can't put my wallet in there because my legs, have grown so much. I had to buy bigger size. I used to wear 33 by 29 Wranglers. I got to wear 34 by 29. It doesn't sound like a big difference, but the inch is not just the waist. It's actually the cut of the jeans, for the size of the legs. It couldn't fit. The other ones I have to, it's like they're tight, skin tight. I got a pair that I can't wear. I filled them out. I like that, but You know, that's just from knowledge. I think one guy said something about shin splints too. The more these fucking idiots do not listen to most of these people. They don't know what they're talking about. Most of these trainers do not know. Most of them do not know. You know which trainers know? And I know a long pause for this. They better have one fucking hell of a name. And they better have a shitload of fucking gym time. They better have looked like something at one point also. Like Charles Glass or something, you know, that guy used to be. Michael Hearn, you know, some trainers, you know, like the former professional like Tom Platz. They don't have to be Mr. Olympia, but they've been in it, you know, or he was a Mr. Universe. I mean, you're talking about people that have been at the top of the top of the top. They know. They know everything about it, not just taking gear. They know. Because it wasn't, they had to like know how to exactly do to become that, you know, it's not just the gear that back then, you know, they really did the work. And I got news for you. That shit has not changed. The exercise, the times of the human body has not changed. So the same exercises that worked years ago, they work today. Even with modifications and stuff. Those fucking guys know. You know, as young people and stuff like that, I know, you know, they trying to like, but you know, it's hard for me to have, they have to earn my respect because I've been around a long time. You know, I got a master's degree with the 30 years, thousands upon thousands of gym hours. How are you going to discount that? How are you going to, you know, you're not going to know what I know. And that goes along with everything, gym etiquette, every fucking thing that most of these people do not know. They are like a baby compared to me, and I'm like their father. I mean, really, it is. It really, really, really is. And they're not gonna. They might be able to pick up some things just by watching my mannerisms of how I concentrate in the gym. How I don't need to stare in the mirror. A master does not need to look in the mirror when he's actually he knows what he's doing. For front squats, I will. But anything else, it's unnecessary. When I'm doing tricep rope pull downs, I don't need to turn my head to look in the mirror. It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. Bicep curls, I don't need to look in the mirror. I know how to go up and down properly and control it. Overhead tricep rope pulls, I don't need to look in the mirror. I need to focus mind muscle connection on the exercise. Smith machine, close grip bench presses, I don't need to look in the fucking mirror. I need to focus on the fucking putting as much pressure on the tries as possible. Anything up and down, the shrugs that I do with that hex bar, don't need to look in the mirror. Completely unnecessary. The only thing, side lateral raises dealt, I don't need to look in the mirror. The only thing, front squats with the Olympic bar for balance purposes. I could do it without the mirror too, but it's there. So I was like, okay, utilize it for positioning purposes. That's it. Hack squats, don't need to look in the mirror. Focus should be in the mind muscle connection, not looking at other people, not looking at the mirror. You don't need it once you're master level and you know it. It's about that mind muscle connection. You see those people with the hats real low, like their focus, those IFBB pros, their focus is there. They know, you know what they're. It's like a machine working. You're part of the machine. You're part of getting in there. And that one machine I have, this I don't know what it's called, but I utilize that, and I've gotten some great results doing hamstring kickbacks. You know, instead of doing the generic machines that most people do, I'm the only person that ever fucking used that machine. Again, I would challenge anybody in there. You know, like if there was a thing says, let's compare. Let me see your legs compare to mine. You know, I can show you every fucking muscle. You could see my quads, my sweep, and my hams. The only reason that I don't have incredible like definition, like because I don't diet down, and I'm not on any PEDs. If somebody's on, like some gear, I'm gonna lose because this performance enhancing, it blows up the muscle. I'm not gonna be, my legs ain't gonna be bigger than somebody that's taking all these anabolics. No way. But I can see like veins and striations and stuff. That's just from doing the work. And having the knowledge. You can't learn that monkey see, monkey do. To be able to, for me to show somebody how to do it, it would have to be real hands on. I'd have to be like right there, just initially to show you exactly. And they would have to watch me as I'm doing it. And it's like, okay, now when you're doing this, I want to see exactly. Now, do you understand why this does this? Once they understand and they get that sinks in, they don't need me anymore. It's like a class, like once you've absorbed that knowledge, now you can go do it on your own. Now just put in the time. But without that, you could go for years and years and years. I've seen this older guy. He's got some mental problems and stuff. He does the same thing, and he sings. He walks around the gym. Yeah. This little, and he's got no legs, no real. He has kind of a decent sized arm, like, but no definition between his bis and his tris, but just that bulk area, around his arm, it's for his age, But he just always, that's all he does is these type of curling exercise. He doesn't do any variations of anything. He just does like these tricep push downs and these curling moves, and he just goes around the whole gym doing the same thing. And he's been doing that for years. Every time I go to the gym, I see that guy there. And I look at it, he's got no back, like it doesn't, no, because he doesn't know, or he doesn't want to know, or he's got mental problems, he's not well read. It's just there to pass the time, or not. No, he's there like to work, but he doesn't know, how to correctly do anything to get the maximum result. So what's the epitome? Let me conclude on what I consider. What's the epitome of all this shit? Okay, now again, we're eliminating gear, steroids and everything. So you have to take out I can't say Ronnie Coleman, Phil Heath. You can't say that. Arnold, you can't. Frank Zane, you can't. It would be like, it depends on your height. You would have to have that ratio of the waist to shoulder ratio. Definitely like a V taper. Now genetics would play how much your lats would flare out, and how full your shoulders are and your arms. But there would have to be, along with some, decent, like, separation between, I don't know how much you can get naturally off the separation between your traps. And here, I'll give you my best. Give me a second here. Bear with me. All right. Let me put my cup down for a second. My juice, whatever. Okay, so basically, the way your lats would flare out, the separation between your traps and your shoulders. Okay. Your chest. It's just everything should be full and be able to be defined. You're not going to get that incredible peak that Arnold had, but you see the difference between, the whole thing is me. You should be able to see the separation of the forearm. It should be full. Now, I've seen guys that are really cut, but they're like thin. So I just don't, like in my mind, I just don't like it's just not, it's not my definition of what's possible. Now the legs thing, I'll do that another episode. I probably will. I just don't want to do this now. But again, like your abs, it should be solid. I've seen these guys, but the whole thing between the flaring of the lats out and your back, that thickness. I have a friend again. He doesn't have that any thickness there. I can kind of show a little bit. Just again, the way that my place is set up. I'm not here to, and I didn't do this to showcase my body of what I look like. But you see the point, like what I'm trying to say. It's like you should have some density, but it's not like these guys, like these IFBB pros, where it's like sculpted and thick. Like that's from drugs. I mean, that's the only way to be able to get a body like that. I say it's not worth it. I think you can get pretty good. Now again, it's hard to kind of tell something size. This is two-dimensional. Now I'm in the low 180s now. I mean, I've been up to 185. It's just hard to tell. But anyway, that's to give you an idea of what, in my mind, like what I think is possible. Just a lot of knowledge, hard work, and not, don't compare yourself to like guys, these guys on stage and everything like that. There's, you have to really understand that no matter how much time you put in, you're not going to be like somebody that's taking gear, but still you can be the best version of yourself. So anyway, I hope that you kind of gained some knowledge on it, to see what's possible, and I will continue to try to teach what I know my own way.